We welcome you to Orlando, Florida, and to Addition Financial Arena as Week 6 of Pro Volleyball Federation play continues this afternoon. Columbus taking on the Orlando Valkyries. The Fury checking in at 3-2 and Orlando at 4-4. Welcome courtside, everybody, alongside the Beach Volleyball All-American at Florida State and Madison Fitzpatrick. I'm Sean Davis, and thank you for spending your afternoon here at Addition Financial Arena with us. Madison, the last time these two teams played, Columbus was 0-1 on the year. They hadn't played in 3 weeks. Orlando was sub 500 themselves. Now here we are. Orlando's coming off their biggest win of the season. Columbus is on a winning streak. What stands out to you as you dissect this matchup as it stands here today?
Well, as it stands right now, what stands out to me is the momentum that both of these two teams have going into today. You mentioned the 3-match win streak by Columbus, and Orlando coming off of an incredible 3-1 set victory over Grand Rapids Rise. So both teams are firing on all cylinders and definitely peaking at the right moments, and that right moment is right now, so it's definitely going to be highly contested. Folks,
I'm going to sound like a broken record. There is a ton of star power in the Pro Volleyball Federation. Columbus and Orlando both have plenty of it, and they both have players who have won Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week honors. Who stands out to you here in this matchup today?
Well, let's start right there. The current Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week is Reagan Cooper. Columbus Fury outside. She's dynamic, she's athletic, she's bouncy, she's springy. She's coming off of 22 kills versus Omaha in their win, then 21 kills versus the Thrill, and 15 kills versus the Thrill. So she's the hot hands right now for Columbus.
Well, that'll do, and I'll tell you what, Adora and she can score in bunches as well for Orlando. She's that other Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week. What stands out to you when you look at the Valkyries and specifically Adora?
Well, Adora and yes, was the Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week a couple weeks ago, and that's because she's stoic, she's confident, she's consistent. She's coming off of 21 kills in their win versus the Rise. She hit 360, which is so incredibly efficient as an outside pin, and she's got 14 digs, so she's a 6-rotation player who really does it all for Orlando.
Yeah, she has been getting acclimated, Madison, to playing some more defense. She didn't do that a lot internationally, and so she's been getting up to speed with that. She's looked pretty good, hasn't she?
She absolutely has. She's got really good reads. She tracks the ball really well, and then she makes these really fast, quick twitch digs, and she controls what she should control. She makes things kind of look easy back there because she's doing all of the little things right.
Yeah, she certainly has, and you know, as good as she's been and as good as some of the headliners have been, there have been other players that have stepped up and really made a name for themselves, including Paula Sarame, who I had the chance to sit down with before the match began. Sean Davison here standing by with the Orlando Valkyries' own Paula Sarame. And Paula, I think there's a lot of fans who've been tuning into these broadcasts that are now very much more familiar with you, courtesy of your showing against Grand Rapids. First of all, congratulations on the big win. And you came up clutch in a lot of really big moments. I think there's a cliche out there that says the big play doesn't care who makes it, and you made a ton of them. When you reflect on that match against Grand Rapids, what stands out to you?
I think it's just a team collective effort. We've been focused so much on our side of the net and controlling our side of the net and just minimizing our errors. So I think that was a perfect example Friday night.
For sure. And as the season wears along, you've got the stretch here where Grand Rapids, now today against Columbus, next week against Omaha, you're at home. You're sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah.
You've got playoff caliber teams that are already toward the top of the standings taking you on in your building. What does that do for you all to not have to hit the road for a period of a couple of weeks?
We're just taking advantage of being home and kind of sleeping in our own bed, being in our own routine, and just the last stretch here of the month is all away. So taking advantage, like I said, and just getting in a routine little by little to focus on the next couple of games.
Well, you're taking on a Columbus team today that is your first repeat visitor here to AdFi Arena. The last time you saw them was their second match ever. They had not played volleyball for 3 weeks. They were 0-1. Now they're on a winning streak. So what stands out from that match, and what are you looking at now at this Columbus team and preparing for?
I think like every other team, they've gotten so much better along the way, and so have we. So I think it's a great matchup for us tonight. It's very exciting for us, the Puerto Ricans. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans on that team too. So it's a great environment. It's home. We're excited. Great match for us tonight.
Well, you know what? I'm going to pivot because you mentioned Puerto Rican players, and there's a lot of them in this league. Give us an idea of what volleyball in Puerto Rico is all about and what it means to represent Puerto Rico here in the professional association, the Pro Volleyball Federation.
Yeah, it's a small island, so we kind of know each other from everywhere around the world, and just coming together here in Orlando especially means a lot. There's a lot of Puerto Rican fan base here too, so it's like home away from home for all of us. So it's super exciting.
Awesome. Well, it's going to be exciting to see you and your team take on the Fury here today. Paula, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much.
All right. Madison Fitzpatrick is standing by with another Puerto Rican, Wilma Rivera.
All right, thanks, Sean. Well, I'm here with setter Wilma Rivera. Wilma, first of all, congratulations on the fantastic win 2 days ago. What went well in that match that you hope to bring to today's match?
Thank you so much, obviously. I think we did good as a group. Obviously, offensively, our middles got involved. We have, as we know, strong playing hitters too. So we're getting the good touches on the block, hustling on defense. I think it was a good, overall win for us. So I hope we can continue to bring that today.
And we all know momentum plays a big factor in everything. Do you feel like your team has momentum coming off of that win just 2 days ago?
Absolutely. I mean, Michigan is a strong team. We haven't played them before. We hope we can bring all the good things to this match. Obviously, Columbus is also a great team. We already got a first win on them, and we hope we can get another one today, following all this scouting report, doing what we need to be doing, and then just kill them.
I love it. And speaking of Columbus, what are going to be some of the keys to winning this match today?
Yeah, for sure. Also, our middles getting involved. They're getting good block on them, stopping those spins sometimes. And then overall, I think we have to worry more about our side than them. Keep competing as a team, keep bringing all that energy, enthusiasm that we have every single match. And I believe in my teammates, so I think we're going to be fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much and good luck today.
Thank you.
It's the high performance moment of the week, brought to you by Ren Athletics.
14-12. Sydney Hilly. Maddox pulls the setter off. Right side swing. We're done. Match point. Las Vegas takes their inaugural match and starts at 1-0.
Gear up with the official Pro Collection apparel today. Available exclusively at renathletics.com and provolleyballshop.com.
We talk about competitive composure, and this kid has it. Reagan Cooper having a night tonight for the Fury.
If I can match that, Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line. Right into the block. Who else? Reagan Cooper. Back to Reagan Cooper. It's been right. And now second half point coming up here for the Columbus Fury.
Pre-game ceremonies have concluded. and we're ready to get this matchup underway momentarily. But first, we'll introduce you to the starting lineups for the Fury and for the Valkyries. We'll start with Columbus, the visiting team here this afternoon. Megan Courtney Lush, Caitlin Horde, Samantha Drexel, Reagan Cooper, Raynell Jones, Rye Santos, and Valeria Leon will be the starting 6, plus Leon, the starting libero for the Fury. Now for Orlando, it'll be Wilma Rivera, Adora Anai, Michaela White, Shina Joseph, Jill Gillen, and Kaz Brown, with Georgia Murphy wearing the libero jersey for the Valks. Also want to introduce you ahead of time to our referees this afternoon for the Pro Volleyball Federation. The R1, the up referee, will be Michelle Prater. The R2, or the down referee, will be Devaney McClarty. And as we've already introduced ourselves to you, Madison and Sean here with you as we get set to get this matchup underway. Both of these teams coming in with plenty of momentum. They want to keep building it. Columbus on a 3-match winning streak fueled largely by Reagan Cooper, who has been a breakout star for them and in Pro Volleyball Federation play across all of these different franchises. And for Orlando, coming off their biggest win of the season against Grand Rapids, found a way late, deep in sets after struggling with being ahead late on occasion before that. So both of these teams checking in with plenty of regular season volleyball to play, of course. But for the moment, both of these teams checking in as 2 of the top 4. And so this should be an exciting one here this afternoon. Wilma Rivera back to serve, and we are underway at Edition Financial Arena. Set to the middle, and Horde tips it over. Jill Gillen on the attack, hit the tape. Point Columbus.
Solid first serve by Wilma Rivera, causing Columbus to get in a little bit of trouble on serve receive.
Nonetheless, the Fury win the opening point. Horde goes back to serve. Set goes out to Adora Anai. Nice work by Columbus getting that ball up, and they transition out of it. A kill from the right side. And the Fury are off and running.
And that was Drexel. We're going to be calling her name a lot tonight. She's got a heavy arm, and she powers through that open seam.
Nice pass there. White on the attack, tried to put down that overdug ball. Off speed this time for MK White. Out to the pin, there's another kill, it's Cooper.
The reigning Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week. She's been on fire lately. 22 kills, 21 kills, 15 kills, and here we go. Her starting off here, nice high swing, perfectly timed, and all she had to do was snap her wrist.
Orlando goes out to the pin themselves. Adora Anai jumps in the scorer's column first for the Valkyries.
And Drexel set that block a little too far outside. Raynell Jones not able to get there and close it. And Adora Anai loves an open seam, drove it straight through.
Overpass, put down, Michaela White.
That's Michaela White doing what she is up there to do, clean up those overpasses. And right there, she was expectant, she was ready. A nice little hop and score.
Orlando back within a point. Anai to serve once more. Orlando, much better job serving the ball in their win over Grand Rapids. 10 errors, 7 aces, and that's a quick side out for Columbus. Raynell Jones putting that one down.
Raynell Jones is coming off of 7 kills, hitting .540. It's her best performance of the season. She's coming off that to here today.
Jill Gillen off speed. Cooper, second effort, cross court, caught it.
I love the range from Cooper. Right off the bat, she drives it deep down the line, and now we see her here going cross court. Also, great job in transition, getting off the net to have her full approach in front of her.
And there's a trickle ace for Columbus, off to a tremendous start here in Orlando this afternoon. Drexel goes back to serve once more. Tight pass, White tips it over the net. And I believe Orlando was in the net. Timeout Valkyries. Columbus off to an early heater. They lead it by 5, 7-2, and force an early timeout. We'll take it with them.
It's the high performance moment of the week, brought to you by Ren Athletics.
14-12. Sydney Hilly. Maddox pulls the setter off. Right side swing. We're done. Match point. Las Vegas takes their inaugural match and starts at 1-0.
Gear up with the official Pro Collection apparel today. Available exclusively at renathletics.com and provolleyballshop.com.
Back here at Edition Financial Arena for the second time now in 2 meetings here in Orlando between Columbus and the Valkyries. It's the Fury, the Columbus Fury, that have gotten off to a hot start. In fact, folks, if you remember their first meeting, it was the second match ever for Columbus. They played the second match in Pro Volleyball Federation history in Grand Rapids, got swept, and didn't play another match for 3 weeks until they came here. They actually won their first set in franchise history in set 1 in their matchup with Orlando just a few weeks ago. Nice work in the back row, and Ryanelle Jones puts it down in transition. Great work.
And that was a great dig by Megan Courtney Lush, getting underneath the ball, reading it perfectly and digging it up right to her setter, who then had all of her options open for offense.
Courtney Lush, a national champion at Penn State, played on the national team, a player that her head coach Angel Perez says is the epitome of the Pro Volleyball Federation. And wow, Columbus just keeps it pouring on right here in set 1.
And when you talk about momentum, Columbus has all of it coming into this match. They're on a 3-match win streak. Obviously, they've got their chemistry. Everything's firing on all cylinders for this team.
That's one heck of a service rotation for Drexel. It just comes to an end, though. But still, 7 points now, 6-point lead for the Fury on the road to get things started. Michaela White will rotate to the back row for Orlando. Cooper from the pin. An eye from the back row. Jones read it to perfection.
Yep, she read it to perfection is right. She read the shoulder of Adora Anai coming out of the back row. She dove those arms into the angle, shutting down that net.
Ryanelle Jones only played 1 set against Orlando earlier this season and is already making her presence felt in the second meeting between the Fury and the Valks. Service error, and Orlando needed that point badly.
Yep, if you're Orlando, you need to get some momentum going. You need to take it back onto your side. One good defensive play is what they need to kind of get things rolling.
The last time Shaina Joseph saw Columbus, she ended up getting hurt, missed a few matches. There's Jones once again, putting an end to Shaina Joseph's service rotation after just 1 serve.
And Jones is a very active middle. As a middle, you're supposed to be in the air every single time. You see her there running different sets, running different plays, and always being up and ready.
Second year as a professional, started her career in Italy, and she is making her start today count. Blocks, kills, and now an ace.
She really is on fire. This is such a statement way to start a match.
12-4 Columbus. Carly Graham with the back set to Kaz Brown. Courtney Lush on the attack. Brown again.
And that's Kaz Brown's bread and butter. She loves to run that slide. First of all, great dig by Georgia Murphy. Kaz Brown running the slide, perfectly timed by Carly Graham, the setter.
Jill Gillen rotating now to the back row. Another great pass by Lush, and in a hurry, Horde puts it down.
We're gonna have a little battle of the middles here today for us. That's Caitlin Horde. She's extremely efficient. She's coming off of 11 kills and hit 350 on the season. She's hitting 350 on the season, so she's a very efficient attacker.
Joseph, back row, off of the block of Horde. That's a back row attack and kill for number 15 in blue.
And that's one of the advantages of having front row attackers also play defense, also play in the back row. Now they've got another option. Carly Graham is in front row, so she's got a bunch of offensive weapons in the back row as well.
Horde, not to be outdone, out of the middle, a quick set for her. And you mentioned it. These middles have been active early and often here within the first 20 combined points of this match.
And that's exactly what you want, because the more active they are from the get-go, the freer your pins will be. It'll free up the pins for the block.
Back set Joseph off the block. Two Fury teammates tried to receive that same ball and passed it out of play. Little miscommunication there by Columbus. Carly Graham heading back to serve. Leon with the pass that is put down by Orlando. The off-speed tip rejected by the Valks.
That was a good read by Adora Anai, who saw the tip coming, hung in the air just a little bit longer and shoved it down.
Graham, the second setter for Orlando, saw a lot of work in the Valkyries match in Atlanta, and she's got Columbus out of system. Now it's Orlando setting an out-of-system ball to Adora Anai. Second effort kept up by Courtney Lush. Drexel off the block and out of play.
Courtney Lush's defense has coming clutch so far in this set. She makes great reads and then passes that ball perfectly to the hands of her setter. Drexel with that really fast arm swing, and it's a heavy arm. She'll get the tool.
Megan Courtney Lush, a pro who's played in Puerto Rico, Poland, Turkey, in 4 different clubs in Italy, and internationally, a lot of folks are familiar with her as a libero. She was the best libero in the FIVB circuit in 2019.
Yep, and then at Penn State, she was a 2-time national champion, named the NCAA Championship Most Outstanding Player in 2014, so she is a seasoned volleyball player.
Plus passer, getting back into the swing of things quite literally in the front row, Megan Courtney Lush. 6-point lead for Columbus. Orlando gets back to work, and Nye serves it in. And there's Orlando, I believe, benefiting from, it looked like a double contact call.
Yep, and if you're Orlando, you just want to keep chipping away, and make up some of that deficit.
Cooper, right through the seam.
And Michaela White really did try to close that block. She dove those arms into the open seam. But that's one of the advantages of having such a high vertical. Reagan Cooper swinging high and over the block.
16-10, Columbus. Drexel back to serve, already has 1 ace. Cooper, kept up by Graham. Gillen on the run, will look for a touch call, it won't come in.
Good dig by Carly Graham, a nice quick twitch dig. That ball hit with some firepower from Reagan Cooper.
Out of the middle, there's Michaela White. That's one of Orlando's best passes, and White knew exactly what to do with that quick set.
And that's exactly one of the reasons why they beat the Rise just 2 days ago. When they're in system, they run through their middles. And you see there, Raynell Jones just a little late on that block.
Over on 2, Orlando picks it up. Joseph off the top of the block, played up by Courtney Lush. Out of the middle, Jones dug out of the net by Gillen. Now in transition, Gillen saved by Courtney Lush. Cooper had it knocked back. Drexel stopped.
Kaz Brown moves along the net so dynamically. You see her there side to side. She's quick. She reads the set really well. And then she closes that block perfectly and presses her arms over the net at the right time.
The Valkyries back within 5. Out of system ball. Cooper had it tipped back. Jones hammers it and got the touch call.
It was a great swing by Jones right there, tooling the block, identifying the hands of Kaz Brown, and then swiping it off her arm.
Gabby Blossom checking in. Top 10 all-time at Penn State in assists. And when you think about a decorated college program like Penn State and how rich their history is, that's saying a thing or two. Jones doing tremendous work at the net, tried to put away another one. And that is a huge stuff block once again, Kaz Brown.
And Kaz Brown is one of those players that can shift the tide of a game. See her there moving so dynamically across the net, closing each block and reading each hitter's shoulder.
Yeah, she won't get credit for a stuff block on the first one. It's a quality block touch nonetheless. That second one, though, it counts, and that's her second of the set. And here's Paula Sarame, the lightning bolt in multiple sets for Orlando just a couple days ago against Grand Rapids. And that is a service error.
The jump topspin is a high-risk, high-reward serve. A lot of things have to go perfectly to get it over the net and in. The toss has to be right. Your approach has to be at the correct time.
Jones goes back to serve, and that's an ace. Perfectly placed by Jones.
And extremely flat. That's one of the advantages of a float serve, is it moves so much in the air, dipping and diving, shifting right to left, floating all the way to that back line.
A furious first set for Columbus. They lead by 7. Timeout on the floor. We'll be back after this.
Perez told us it's about winning the small battles. I know this would be a big battle to win for him and the Fury tonight. Asia O'Neal, Columbus, first-time winner in their home debut. Welcome home, Columbus Fury.
We talk about competitive composure, and this kid has it. Reagan Cooper having a night tonight for the Fury.
If I can match that, Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line. Right into the block. Who else? Reagan Cooper. Back to Reagan Cooper. It's been high. And now set and match point coming up here for the Columbus Fury.
Back here in Orlando, Columbus has entered the red zone here in the first set. That's a service error for Raynell Jones. That's just about the only thing that has gone wrong for her in this first set so far.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, her all-around game has been incredible. Her blocking, her attacking, and from the service line, you want to go for a 1-to-1 ratio, and she did it right there. 1 ace to 1 miss serve.
Another dime of a pass by Courtney Lush, and Columbus is just humming right now.
They absolutely are. The setter-hitter connection between Santos and her middles right now is fantastic. You see there, Caitlin Horn dropping her thumb and driving it cross court and deep.
Santos, 2-time best setter in the Puerto Rican League. They play tremendous volleyball in Puerto Rico. As Paulo Sarame mentioned in the pre-match interview, there is a ton of Puerto Rican presence on the floor between the Valkyries and between the Fury here this afternoon. And it'll be exciting to see them get after it here once again in Central Florida. Santos, who's also spent time on the Puerto Rican national team, goes back to serve once more. Oh, there you go, right out to the pin. Adora Anai with an open net is nightmare-type stuff for opposing teams.
It absolutely is, and she's so experienced. If she gets an open net, she's going to take care of that ball. You see there, the middle block just a little late to close, and Adora Anai with that quick tempo set beat the block to her.
Short float for Kaz Brown. Michaela White tried to clean that up at the net. Drexel tipping it over the block. Anai had it rejected by the Fury, and they're within 2 of the set.
And Caitlin Hort said, I'm not going to let that happen again. That time, getting there, closing the block. And that's a quick set. I called it a tempo set. It means it's fast out to the pin, so Caitlin Hort had to do a lot of work there to close that block.
That'll send Courtney Lush back to serve. Anai. Out of system ball, a back bump to Cooper, and White had it sniffed out.
That was an absolute wall up there at the net. An out of system play. Leon with a good set, just a little bit inside, kind of like a trap set. Reagan Cooper didn't have much of anywhere to go. And MK White pointed those palms into the court and shoved it straight down.
Still a 7-point lead for Columbus. Carly Graham goes back to serve. Orlando now with 3 hitters in the front row. Cooper!
Talk about hang time. It was like we thought she was going to come down, and then she stayed up there just a little bit longer, contacted that ball at a very high point over the net, and snapped down the line.
And just like that, the Fury have arrived at set point, leading it by 8. It'll be Horde back to serve. Quick to the middle, Jones rejects White. Now to the backside, Joseph off the block. Cooper cross court and missed it. Was there a touch? No. Point Orlando.
We have to give some credit to Raynell Jones on that play. A solid block and then a good block touch that slowed down that attack. The Fury not able to come up with it though.
An eye down the line. Drexel tools the block, and that's it. Columbus wins set 1, 25-17.
And you can tell Columbus is coming in really confident with all of those 3-match wins right behind them, fueling them forward.
Columbus has 3 in a row. They're off to a great start in Orlando today. Set 2 coming up next. to start for Columbus, winning set 1 by a wide margin. And here they go, off to a quick start here in set 2 after winning the first one by 8, 25-17.
It's a good aggressive serve, causing the overpass. Raynell Jones taking care of the net.
Madison, what stood out to you from set 1?
Columbus played very clean. They gave themselves a lot of really solid chances on defense, like that right there. All out effort on defense, keeping that ball alive. That's one of the things that stood out to me.
Orlando gets the point. You got to tip the cap, as you mentioned, to Leon as well. Wow. Great point, both sides.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at this dig. Getting underneath it, reading it well. Dora and I going over the hands of the block. An out-of-system play, and point Valkyries.
Valeria Leon, not only a member of the Puerto Rican national team and the Columbus Fury, proud Buckeye alum who's gone back home to play pro volleyball here in the States, also a full-time lawyer, no less.
Absolutely incredible.
Jones with the tip out of the middle. And that'll work. When it's your day, it's your day. 4 kills on 8 swings in the first set, a couple of aces and a block for Jones, and she's off and running again.
Exactly, and I already said it, but I think it's an incredible stat. She's coming off hitting 540 last match. So that setter-hitter connection between her and Santos is on and firing on all cylinders.
Reagan Cooper back to serve. Targets Jill Gillen, now in transition. Jill Gill dug up by Cooper. Drexel inside the block. It's another kill for Columbus.
It's that heavy arm and all that power by Drexel that allows her to get the point. At Washington, she's got the 6th most kills in program history, so she is seasoned and she knows how to score.
2-time All-American, 3-time All-Conference. Shina Joseph dug up and over by Leon. Second effort, Joseph, that's a kill.
Great swing by Joseph, mixing it up, driving it down the line, and then hitting pretty deep cross court, right in between 2 defenders, perfectly placed and timed swing.
3-2 Columbus, and an out-of-system ball. Cooper rolls it from the back row. Here's Gillen, off the block and out of play. Jill Gillen with a kill.
It was a solid set by Wilma Rivera, who didn't have time to take it with her hands, so it was a platform set perfectly to Jill Gillen's arm.
That was the first kill of the match for Jill Gillen. Jones off the block. Joseph to Rivera, Brown out of the middle. Courtney Lush on the attack.
It was Courtney Lush swinging high and over Kaz Brown. You can tell Courtney Lush is a veteran. She's so composed every time she goes up to swing.
11 and 10 kills in her last 2 matches, and Kaz Brown really was a spark plug for Orlando. Later goings in set 1. She's off to a good start here.
How about that for some heat? Taking space away from her setter, spreading out that block and driving it cross court.
Cooper with the pass, Ford with the tip. Gillen powers that one down the line, and Leon runs into the chairs. All-out effort by Valeria Leon, but she couldn't track that one down. And after recording 0 kills in the first set, Jill Gillen's already got 2 in the first 9 points here in set 2.
When Jill Gillen gets hot, she gets hot, and I think she's going to start warming up now and heating up.
Back row attack, there's Cooper. Oh, that looked great.
There's no question why she's the reigning Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week. She's so poised up there from the back row, attacking it with just as much confidence as she does the front row.
Gillen, quick dig by Courtney Lush. And an attack error from the back row, point Orlando. And the Valkyries have their first lead in any portion of this match, 6-5. Service error just off the top of the tape and down on her own side of the net. And just like that, we're tied once again. Courtney Lush rotating to the back row. Did not play in the last match when Columbus hosted Las Vegas, but did play in Las Vegas against Omaha and here in Orlando. Her 3 appearances on the season. Adora Anai goes to work off the block. That's another kill for Adora.
Yep, solid tool by Adora Anai. Caitlin Horde just a little late to that block, and it caught her on her way up.
7-6 Orlando. Kaz Brown back to serve. Now there's Cooper working in transition. Wilma Rivera setting Anai on the pin. Tip by Cooper, smart shot.
Such a smart shot. She's got great court vision. That set a little inside. She got her feet there and then tipped to the open court.
Reagan Cooper, who began her career in Washington State, then went to Texas Tech, then lit it up at Kansas, got drafted, and is really catching fire here. Orlando continues to try to establish themselves here in set 2. They're doing an all right job at it. They lead once again by 1. Wilma Rivera will go back to serve. Back set, Drexel off the block. Columbus keeps it up and digs it out of play.
Solid cover by Columbus. For those who may not be as familiar to volleyball, a cover is when your teammate hits the ball, the opposing team blocks it, and you get underneath it, dig it up, and recycle it.
2-point lead now for Orlando. Off the top of the net. Cooper transitions.
Reagan Cooper is also one of those attackers where if you give her any space, if that block isn't close, she's got such a fast arm swing that she's going to take advantage of it.
We'll send Drexel back to serve. Anai hunting the line, missed it, and just like that, we're tied once again. I want to come back to Reagan Cooper for a second, Madison. She's a player that on a team that's got the likes of Asia O'Neal, who won 2 national championships at Texas and is just getting her pro career started. Cooper is the player that Angel Perez said has the highest ceiling of anybody on the team, and he said by far.
I mean, that's such an incredible compliment, and it really does just show her potential. She hasn't even scratched it yet.
Free ball here for Columbus. It's Cooper going back to work, dug up by Gillen. Anai, off speed. Santos with the shove. I think everybody on both sides has now gotten their hands on the ball in this rally, and that is a 3-point run for Columbus.
Columbus is just playing a little cleaner right now. Looks like on a few of the Orlando touches, they're just a little too quick with it. I'd like to see them take a deep breath, relax, and play their game.
Good pass, White puts it down.
And that right there is how you do it. In system, run through the middle. Michaela White, so efficient up there when that set is to her arm. She can see the court so well and place it wherever she wants.
10-all, set 2. Columbus winning set 1, 25-17. And there's an ace serve. Adora Anai with the ace.
And I like that serve from Anai, taking a little bit of heat off of it, controlling it in between 2 serve receivers.
First ace of the match for Orlando. Cooper, cross court. What a heavy swing she's got.
It is, it's absolutely so heavy. And Georgia Murphy, the libero for the Valkyries, is there. Her platform just isn't angled into the court, but she got a good read on it. Reagan Cooper, just so much power.
And she'll go back to serve. Back set to Joseph. There's another kill for Shaina. How would you assess what we've seen out of Shaina Joseph in her return to action? Missed a few matches after getting banged up against Columbus a couple of weeks ago, but looked pretty good against Grand Rapids, has a few kills here.
100%. Against Grand Rapids, she had 7 kills. She's definitely working back into it. I like that she's mixing up her offense. We've seen a lot of range out of her. She's coming into the lineup quite nicely.
Smart shot there by Megan Courtney Lush, and that is a veteran right there for you. Gillen. Now Courtney Lush stuck. Kaz Brown with block number 3.
Kaz Brown is so incredibly athletic, getting there, pressing her arms over the net, pointing her palms into the court. It was perfectly timed, and it was set up really well by Wilma Rivera.
Orlando is a team against Columbus in their first matchup. Hit north of 300. So far, the Valkyries are hitting 170. Here's Brown on the slide. That'll help.
That'll help indeed. Perfectly timed. She gets there and snaps on top of that ball. She's contacting it at a very high point over the net with a really fast arm swing.
And Orlando has opened up a 2-point lead midway through set 2. Shaina Joseph with the deep float. Santos called her own number. Orlando has to attack from the back row there. Santos, second effort, puts it down.
I love that move from Santos. It gets dug up. She does it again. She's a setter who's also offensively minded, so the block has to stay on her, hold on her, and respect her as a weapon herself.
Number 3 all-time at the University of Arkansas in career assists. Rai Santos off to a great start in this one, now working herself into the offense and bringing in that short float. Gillen off the block. Second effort, same result. Joseph over the end line. That's an error.
And that was a good idea by Shaina Joseph. If her feet weren't totally there, she took a little bit off of it, but just not able to get on top of the ball enough, and she contacted it a little low.
That's a service error by Santos, and Orlando leads it 15-14. That'll bring us to our midway media timeout. Orlando looking to equalize one set apiece.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
Rally with us!
Back here in Edition Financial Arena on the backside of the midway media break here in set number 2. First to 25, win by 2 to claim sets 1 through 4. And if we get to a 5th set, it'll be first to 15, win by 2 for the match. Fans indulging in a little Sweet Caroline here at Ad 5. Great to see the fans make the trip in here on a Sunday afternoon in the City Beautiful. And while we got a second, for those of you at home that are rooting on the Valkyries, be sure to get your tickets now for their next home match, which is Saturday, March 9th at 7 right here at Edition Financial Arena when they take on the Omaha Supernovas. Great seats still available and as low as $10. Log on to OrlandoValkyries.com For all your ticket needs, that's OrlandoValkyries.com as we get back underway. Drexel kept up by Gillen. What a play! Back row Cooper off the block. Brown off the block. Leon gets to it. Look at Santos covering the floor. Rivera calls her own number.
And that right there is why we love professional volleyball. So many incredibly athletic moves in this rally. First of all, Jill Gillen laying out with the one-arm dig. She's a solid 6-rotation player, a ton of experience playing back row. And then let's check out how it ended. Kaz Brown up in the air, ready for the slide. Wilma Rivera says, nope, I'll handle it. She's coming off of 2 kills. She's another one of those setters that's very offensive-minded, and the block has to respect that.
We've had guys wiping up the Terraflex on both sides of the net. And after watching everybody diving all over the floor in that last rally, you can certainly understand why. Back to work now, Gillen serving, and that's a service error.
That is only the Valkyries, I believe, 3rd service error of the night. So not too bad. They struggled with service errors at the beginning of the season, but they've been working on it, and it shows.
Courtney Lush drops it in tight. Anai off to work off the block. Cooper attacks it. Kept up by Jill Gillen once again. Anai in transition, stuffed, out of play.
And that was Adora Anai waiting on that approach. That set was high. It's not a tempo set like she's used to. First of all, Jill Gillen back there doing the most. Solid reads and then really fast digs. Out of system set, Adora Anai waited on it and got the kill.
Cooper back to work. There's Jill Gillen once again. And that one floated wide by Shaina Joseph.
One thing that Shaina Joseph is working on is she loves to get on top of that ball and crank it straight down. But Coach Pauly told us that she's working on mixing up her shots, going for those deep corners, going for those cut shots, taking a little bit of heat off of it, and that's what she was doing right there.
Ivania Ortiz will check in. And that's a service error for Ivania. In comes Valeria Leon in place of Ortiz. Wilma Rivera will go back to serve, up 2. Out of the middle, Jones. Drexel, cross court.
Drexel with all that power behind the swing. We've seen her hit every area of the court. Right here, she swings really sharp cross court, dropping that pinky and driving it almost to the 10-foot line cross court.
Samantha Drexel, who played previously in Switzerland and in France, won her lead as a professional in Switzerland. Leon diving for that dig, dug it over the net. In transition, there is Michaela White. Orlando running the middle and opening up a 2-point lead.
And that was the game plan. Last game was to run the middle more, and it worked out for them, and we see them doing it here tonight. Jones just not lined up, not able to dive those arms, angle, and shut off the net.
Valkyries approaching the red zone. Anai back to serve. Cooper off the block. Murphy keeps it up. Gillen stuffed. An emphatic block by Jones of Jill Gillen.
And there was no covering that one. That block was straight down.
First block of the second set for Raynell Jones. Murphy covers on serve receive. Joseph off the block. Gillen turns that one through the seam. And a free ball to Orlando. Gillen again off the block. Jones keeps it up, another free ball opportunity. To the middle they go. White dug up by Cooper. Lush stopped.
Defense, defense, defense. That is the name of the game. Both both the net defense and the floor defense from both teams is the reason these rallies go on for so long.
And Orlando leads by 2 as they enter the red zone, 20-18. MK White back to serve. Jones on the slide with the kill.
Jones runs a bunch of different sets. She likes the slide, she likes the 1, she likes the 3. They move her around a lot. She does a good job at identifying the hands and the arms of the blocker and tooling them.
Gabby Blossom checking in once again to serve. She did so in the first set. Out of the middle, Kaz Brown puts it down in a hurry.
And one of the themes for the Valkyries is when they get into the red zone, finishing the point, finishing the game, not taking anything off of the gas, and continuing to press forward until it's done.
And Paula Sarame checks in once again for Orlando. She did so in set 1. Service error for Sarame. That'll send Rai Santos back to serve. Gillen off the block and down.
Nice fast tempo set to the pin for Gillen there. She likes to run that quick set because as an undersized pin attacker, you got to play to your advantage. She's quick, she's fast, and she wants to beat the block to the pin.
And back to serve she goes. Drexel with a big swing. Out of system ball, and Nye had it knocked back, and Orlando unable to cover.
Both the middles for the Fury doing a good job at closing the block, sealing off that net. That was Caitlin Horde right there.
And so back and forth we go. Orlando's lead bouncing back and forth between 2 points and 1 point, leading at 22-21. Courtney Lush back to serve. An eye dug up by Megan Courtney Lush. Cooper stopped. And a free ball. Back set and a kill. Kaz Brown once again.
That's Kaz Brown doing what she loves to do, running that slide very quickly. Caitlin Horde, the middle blocker for the Fury, just a little late to close that block, and Kaz Brown saw that and drove it really sharp cross court.
Her 5th kill on 9 swings. Oh, what a set there by Santos, setting up Horde. Orlando covers, though, and has the ball knocked back. An eye. Dug up. Cooper, dug up by Gillen. Both teams setting their pins. Now to the backside. Drexel had it rejected. Free ball to Orlando. White puts it down, and the Valkyries stand at set point.
Take care of it, Michaela White. Wilma Rivera trusts her middles to end the long rallies, and right there, she did it perfectly, dropping that pinky, a cross-body swing.
I'll be honest with you, I was looking down at my notes for a second. I'm not sure if a challenge was called or a timeout. We'll figure that out, and we'll take a break and rejoin the action after this.
We gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
season of the Pro Volleyball Federation as we get started here tonight. Hannah Maddox from the 10-foot line. Hold on, that was powerful. Oh my goodness, over her back. Gillen again. Goodness, Jill Gillen is a spike specialist. Asia O'Neal.
The big attack there and a block from Hannah Tapp.
Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line.
And there's another step block.
Back here in Orlando, where the Valkyries have set points, and it's been brought to our attention that it was Reagan Cooper who incurred an injury of some sort on that last play. Like I mentioned, folks, I looked down for a moment and didn't see anybody getting attention, but our great crew has informed us that that's apparently what took place, and so we wish the best to Reagan as Carly Scott checks in. Orlando looking to equalize one set apiece. Ford out of the middle. And there you have it. Adora Anai drops the hammer, and Orlando knocks this one up.
Adora Anai, who had the game-winning kill just 2 days ago against the Rise, gets it done here against the Fury and ties it up 1-1.
Columbus won set one, 25-17. Orlando calls set two, 25-21. We'll be back at the intermission after these messages.
Let's go celebrate now. Let's go.
Take a look at some of the stats through the first two sets here at Edition Financial Arena. A couple more aces for Columbus, relatively similar reception numbers. Columbus with 3 more kills, Orlando with 3 more blocks. decent number of errors, both sides. Madison, what stood out to you?
Well, what stood out to me so far is Orlando is hitting at a clip of 170, whereas Columbus is hitting at 260, so they're just a little bit more efficient right now. Columbus is also putting themselves in a really good position because of their defense. They're out-digging Orlando 41-29. However, what you see on your screen right there is Orlando's out-blocking Columbus. So Orlando definitely has it in the blocking category, and I think Columbus is a little bit ahead right now as far as floor defense.
Yeah, an interesting note from me. Each team hit 240 in set number 2, Orlando winning it 25-21. More to come here at the intermission. We'll be back after this.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
Rally with us.
We are in the heart of the inaugural season of the Pro Volleyball Federation as we get started here tonight. Hannah Maddox from the 10-foot line. Oh my, that was powerful.
Oh my goodness, over her back. Gillen again. Goodness, Jill Gillen is a spike specialist.
Asia O'Neal.
Big attack there and a block from Hannah Tapp.
Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line.
And there's another step block.
Here in Orlando, where the Fury and the Valkyries are knotted up one set apiece at Addition Financial Arena. We've already broken down the stats from sets 1 and 2, Madison, but just as a matter of observation, and I'd submit this to you for your thoughts, to me, from Orlando's side of things, first ball contact in set 2 just looked a lot cleaner.
100%. In set 1, they looked a little rushed. They were rushing their contacts. It was a little bit scattered. Then they calmed down. They got into their defensive rhythm, and they took care of what they're supposed to take care of, which is bettering each contact, bettering the ball every time you touch it.
The players are making their way back out on the floor, and they've switched sides, which is customary here at the intermission. And so while they get set, we'll come back with more here at the intermission. Some highlights to look at through the first 2 sets. That and more as we get ready for set 3. We'll be back after this.
Perez told us it's about winning the small battles. I know this would be a big battle to win for him and the Fury tonight. Asia O'Neal, Columbus, first-time winner in their home debut. Welcome home, Columbus Fury.
We talk about competitive composure, and this kid has it. Reagan Cooper having a night tonight for the Fury.
I can match that. Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line. Right into the block. Who else? Reagan Cooper. Back to Reagan Cooper. And now set and match point coming up here for the Columbus Fury.
Getting ready for set 3. Plenty to dissect, though, from sets 1 and 2. Sean Davis and Madison Fitzpatrick. And Madison, some fireworks for both sides.
Absolutely. If you're a fan of volleyball, you are utterly entertained right now. Adora Anai has been just as dynamic and explosive as she's been all season long. And we can't talk highlights without talking about Reagan Cooper, the reigning Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week. We see Kaz Brown doing what she does best, running that fast slide and terminating that ball. There's Megan Courtney Lush. Her coach called her the epitome of the Pro Volleyball Federation. And then, of course, we got Michaela White. Running through the middle is something that the Orlando Valkyries have been working on, and it has been paying off. And talk about terminating the ball. Wilma Rivera is about as offensive-minded as they get as a setter. She uses herself as an offensive weapon. The block has to respect her. She's a seasoned veteran, and that was a fun first 2 sets.
Couldn't agree more. As the Valkyries make their way out of the tunnel and join the Fury on the floor, we're set for set number 3 here at Edition Financial Arena. Something to note if you're just joining us, toward the end of set 2, Reagan Cooper left the floor with an apparent injury, and Columbus subbed in Janasia Moore. It was the last point right before Orlando claimed set 2. So we'll see if on the backside of the intermission, if Cooper is good to go, or if Janasia Moore is going to see some impromptu work here in Central Florida this afternoon. Great weekend here in the Sunshine State. The weather has been picture perfect aside from a downpour earlier today that's made it a little muggy outside. But it's great to have spring weather in the area, and it's great to have pro volleyball at Edition Financial Arena. Sean Davison, Madison Fitzpatrick, our entire crew on hand with you here in Orlando, as Wilma Rivera is set to get us underway. If only she can get a volleyball. She was waving for one. All right, she's got one, and we're ready to go. One set apiece, set 3 underway. Back set, Drexel. Rivera pulled out on first contact, and the block attempt goes into the tape by Columbus. So Adora Anai opens things up in set 3 with a kill.
And Adora Anai is so controlled. That set just a little too inside. She still drives it through and tools the block.
Rivera to serve once again. And out to the pin, there's a kill, and that's Reagan Cooper. So good to see Cooper back on the floor for Columbus.
I know her team is too. She's led her team 3 matches in a row in most kills.
Already has 8 in this one on 25 swings. And that's 8 to go along with 9 digs, in fact, for Cooper, nearing a double-double. She has 2 in the last several matches. White out of the middle. Cooper once again, dug up by Murphy. Shiner Joseph rejected by the block, tipped it. Anai tries to get it over. That would have taken 4 contacts. Point Columbus.
And I talked about the blocking defense of the Valkyries for that past set, and I'm thinking maybe Columbus heard me. They really stepped it up, solid close there. And Orlando not able to control it enough to recycle it and send it back over.
2-1 Columbus early on here in the third. Ford to serve it in and over. A service error for Columbus. And Orlando knocks things up 2 apiece. Adora Anai rotating to the back row. Cooper with the overpass. Back bump out of system ball. Gillen off speed over the block. Cooper launches, looking down the line, no touch by Orlando. That's an error for Reagan Cooper.
An out of system play there. Reagan Cooper really solid at going down the line, really consistent, hitting that area of the court. That's one of her very few errors she's had so far.
Just third attack error for Cooper. And a service error by Adora Anai.
Said it once, we'll probably say it a bunch more times. The jump topspin, high risk, high reward. It looked like that toss maybe just a little too far in front of Adora Anai, and she didn't contact it at its highest point.
Pass there by Murphy. Joseph goes off speed. And there's a kill for Columbus. Raynell Jones back in the scorer's column.
That's Raynell Jones running a three. It's a quick set, just a couple feet away from the setter. It's supposed to get that middle block moving side to side, and Raynell Jones did a good job swinging over the block that one.
Gillen stopped.
That was a one-on-one situation. One hitter against one blocker, but Santos lined up well and took away that angle that Gillen was trying to swing at.
Solo stuff for Rai Santos. And Drexel serves it once more. Out of the middle, there's MK White. 7th kill for Michaela, hitting north of 300 so far. White coming off a season-high 9 kills in the win over Grand Rapids, and working at a pace where she very likely, you would think, have to think, is going to set a new one here today. Cooper dug up by Anai over the net. Last touch by Orlando, out of play, point to Columbus.
And back to your comment about Michaela White, she had 9 kills and she hit 470, which is it's almost like every time she goes up to swing, she's getting a kill.
White had 8 kills against Columbus in their previous matchup, hitting 540. Gillen dug up. Leon, what a play. Back row attack, though, ends up in the net. Point Orlando. They're back within 1.
And sometimes that back row attack, you can swing it into the net if you're not swinging through the ball or with as much intention as you usually do.
Shaina Joseph, since her return from injury, has not gone to the jump topspin. She's been going to the float. Has been doing a good job of keeping the ball in play, has Joseph. There she is, good cover. Courtney Lush, stuffed. Still up though. This time, sharp angle, that's an attack error. Tip the cap to Shaina Joseph with a quality cover off what could have been a stuff block.
100%, great up by her. And then the Valkyries with really solid blocks, and then when you're getting blocked a lot as an attacker, sometimes it forces you to swing out of your comfort zone or do things you're not normally going to swing. You're gonna try and hit those angles just a little sharper, and that right there is why Megan Courtney Lush hit it out, because she felt that block in front of her.
Courtney Lush down the line, dug up by Joseph. Gillen cross court. Back row, Cooper.
Great swing by Cooper, driving it deep, a little quick back set to the back row, and she swings with just as much intention and power every single time, no matter where she is on the court.
Out of system ball. Gillen off the block. Out of system, Drexel. Dug up by Joseph. Back row, and 9.
Adora Anai said, all right, Regan Cooper, you can do it. Well, I can do it too. Smart decision by Wilma Rivera, going to the back line. Adora Anai using her full approach and all that height on her vertical to get the kill.
All right, some back row attacks here in set 3. Things are getting spicy in Orlando. Here's Cooper once again. And that's stuffed. Read to perfection by Columbus.
It was a stuff, and it was a little bit of a stare down. Megan Courtney Lush putting that ball straight down. She tracked it really well, followed Kaz Brown out to the pin, and blocked it straight down.
A little bit of everything for Megan Courtney Lush today. That block, 12 digs, an assist, 3 kills. No aces yet for her. Adora Nye's got an ace, and she's got a handful of kills. And that number is climbing.
And credit to Kaz Brown right there, pulling that middle block with her, freeing up Adora Nye out there on the pin.
Service error by Orlando. All right, so I said the one thing Megan Courtney Lush hasn't done yet is record an ace. Here she goes, back to serve. Not to be. Joust at the net. And Wilma Rivera comes away with it. Madison, we were talking off air earlier this week about different players for Orlando, and you made an interesting point. You said, and I agreed, that it feels like every time Rivera goes up there for a joust, she wins.
I mean, it really is incredible. I have not seen her lose a joust yet this season, and we're 8 games into the season.
Here she is setting an eye. And I imagine that's going to be an illegal attack by Adora Nye. A quick end to the point.
But back to your point on the jousting, it really is who contacts it last and who pushes over last. And Wilma Rivera times it up right every single time.
Back set a Nye, and that's last off of her.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. Sometimes your body just happens to get in the way. You see that set maybe a little too far outside for Adora Nye's liking. She's got to adjust a little bit, get her feet there, and then she was trapped out there.
White out of the middle. Put down. Adora Nye.
Defense wins games, and both of these teams, their blocks are so technically sound. You can tell that they've been blockers for a very long time.
Nye now to the back row. Oh, good in-system volleyball there. Drexel from the right pin, number 9, went right down the line with it.
That was a great swing, and that is harder than it looks. She's got a lot of control over where each hit goes. That one deep down the line.
Joseph. Dug up by Leon. Cooper. Got inside Orlando's block. A free ball opportunity now for Columbus. Cooper again off the block. Look at a Nye. One-handed dig. Gillen in transition looking through the seam, and that's where it ends up.
Yep, Gillen trying to tag the fingertips of the opposing block. Solid set by Wilma Rivera, who got her feet there. It was a little off the net, that pass, but a great up by Adora Nye. Jill Gillen just not able to finish it.
3-point lead now for Columbus. Good pass there by Gillen, and White puts it down, slash off of Drexel.
Yeah, she did. That was a deep swing. A lot of the times you see middles want to bounce balls, get on top of it and crank it straight down, but Michaela White has a lot of range to hit that ball pretty flat and deep, hitting Drexel right in the face, but you can see the sportsmanship from Michaela White. She went over there to make sure she was okay.
Cooper had it rejected, but tools the block.
That block was set well and timed up well. It was just that their palms weren't pointing into the court.
Boy, Orlando's really starting to gain some traction offensively. They're back within 2 of Columbus.
It's a quick 3 set to Kaz Brown, who sees the blocker, swings above and around.
Joseph gets Columbus out of system. Rivera calls her own number.
Wilma Rivera minded. She's such a weapon up there. It was a pretty cool dig by Santos to keep that ball alive, but Wilma Rivera, not the tallest attacker, but she's got a really high vertical, and she contacts that ball at a high point and shoved it down.
Two-time ACC Setter of the Year at Louisville after transferring there from Penn State. She's on the Puerto Rican national team, played professional volleyball previously in France, Germany, Sweden, and in Puerto Rico. Got a visit from her head coach, Danny Busboom Kelly. A lot of college coaches in the area, some volleyball tournaments for some youngsters in the area, so a lot of D1 coaches doing some recruiting here in Orlando. Danny Busboom Kelly doing a little multitasking to visit a couple of her cards, Claire Chaussee for Grand Rapids, and of course the aforementioned Wilma Rivera. That'll take us to our midway media break here in set 3, Columbus leading it 15-13.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
Rally with us.
Back here in Orlando as the fans enjoy the flex cam. We get back to the action here momentarily. Columbus leading it 15-13 midway through set 3. Orlando first back onto the court. They're operating on the right side of the net in their powder blue. Columbus wearing black aside from Valeria Leon and the libero jersey in that orange alternate uniform. She's not on the floor though. Everybody on the floor, part of that starting rotation. An ace serve.
Weaving it down the line in between two players, perfectly placed and nice and deep.
Put a check on this appearance for Ivania Ortiz, who builds a little positive momentum for Columbus and then promptly dumps serve on the very next point. So the lead essentially remains where it was at the midway break. Just now 16-14. Over on 2, there's a kill. Rai Santos says, Wilma Rivera, anything you can do, I can do too.
Exactly, it's like, you do one, I'll raise you another one. Santos making herself an option every single time and making that block respect her.
Two setters from Puerto Rico showing off a little bit here in set 3. Courtney Lush cross court. I believe that's going to be a double contact. Yep. It just did not look normal coming off of Kaz Brown's hands as she was sliding to get to it.
And sometimes that happens when you're rushed and you're trying to get the ball away from you. If it's coming at your body like that, sometimes that happens. Earlier in the play, great dig by Santos. Really solid defensively for her down the line there. She's really fast, she makes good reads. She's coming off of 38 assists and 16 digs, so she's very consistent back there for them as well.
So as it stands now, a 4-point lead for Columbus. Columbus, who has gone no more than 4 sets in a match to this point this season. Kaz Brown goes off speed. Big swing there by Drexel, doesn't catch a touch. And I believe Angel Perez wants to confirm whether or not there was a block touch. A challenge by the Fury, the first challenge here of the match in set number 3. And so our first chance to compliment our friends over at Bolt 6. This is one of our angles here in venue though. And from that angle, it didn't particularly look like there was a block touch. And this is one of Bolt 6's angles, and as you can tell, no block touch. Now, if needed, Bolt 6, which is really cool, can go down to essentially a millimeter. That was not a block touch by, not a millimeter.
Yeah, Bolt 6 is absolutely incredible, though, and it takes away the subjectivity of the calls. It's immediate, it's quick. It's fantastic technology for the sport.
Still point Orlando. Decent serve there by Kaz Brown. There's a block for White.
Now Orlando creeping along, making their way back into it, only down by 2 now.
Kaz Brown generating some service pressure. She'll go back to serve once again. And once again, Columbus is out of system. Graham setting a 9 on the pin, but there's a huge block. Horde with the stuff.
It's been an absolute blocking battle here today. Both teams exchanging stuff blocks at different times.
3-point lead for Columbus. Bad pass there. Johnny Teeler checking in the dub sub with Graham. Great play there by Murphy. A nice tip, knocked back. Teeler tools the block for the kill.
Welcome into the game, Johnny Teeler swiping that swing off of the arms of the blocker down the line. But first of all, gotta give some love to Georgia Murphy, who lines up right inside of that block. Perfect lineup by her. Johnny Teeler finishing it with the tool.
2-point third set. That's off the edge of the block and down. Reagan Cooper with another kill.
Reagan Cooper may have faced a little injury in set 2, but it is not holding her back at all. She leads all players right now in kills with 13.
13 kills to go along with 12 digs for Reagan Cooper. Her third double-double in the last 4 matches played. Janasia Moore checking in though to serve. That's a service error.
That is tough. It is difficult to get any kind of momentum when you're committing service errors like that.
Columbus first to the red zone. Orlando 2 points behind them. There was a whistle before Adora Anai served that ball, and she served it into the net, and Orlando's saying, how can you call that a service error when she thought that the whistle was yours?
Yep, I'm guessing someone from the stands blew a whistle, so of course she stopped her approach, almost set the ball over from the service line, thinking that it was the referee that told her to stop. Looks like Courtney Lush is wanting a replay.
A replay of the point is the right call, and Michelle Prater does the right thing as the up referee. As soon as that, you can't call it an inadvertent whistle. You can just call it somebody in the stands going momentarily stupid.
Yep.
As soon as that happened, everybody behind the Orlando bench looked to a particular area of the stands. And so, of course, if you're Columbus, you're not going to love the fact that they're replaying the point. You're going to say that's a service error all day. What are you talking about? I believe that's what Angel Perez is saying, with a smile nonetheless. You got to advocate for your own particular point of view. But again, tip the cap to Michelle Prater. That's the right call. Replay the point, and away we go here in Orlando. Cooper puts that one down, and if you're Columbus and you're frustrated, you won the point anyway.
Exactly, and that's kind of the mindset that you have to have. Okay, it didn't go our way. Well, we'll show you and we'll get this next point. Great swing, high off the hands of MK White and Carly Graham.
3-point lead for the Fury. Gillen in transition with the kill.
And you see this a lot in volleyball. The server is going to target the outside hitter who's pulling back to serve receive because they want to take them out. They want to take their offense out. But Jill Gill says, nope, you're not taking me out of anything. Perfect pass to the setter. Nice quick tempo set and kill.
Overpass. Brown goes up for it. And there's a net violation against Columbus.
If you're Orlando, you really did need that point. Now they're down by 1.
It'll be Michaela White to serve it in. As you can see on your screen, you got a gentleman wiping up Orlando's side of the floor. (21-20) Fury. One set apiece. That just clears the net. It's an overpass. And Orlando tie it at 21.
That was a fast set and swing. Cass Brown with such a fast arm swing, and you see she speeds up her approach and attacks that ball at its highest point. Even though it's a low set, she's so quick, she can terminate that ball.
The Valkyries are on a run. Columbus has seen enough. They call timeout, tied at 21. Back here in Orlando, it looks like on the backside of the Columbus timeout, Carly Scott is going to sub in for Michaela White. Now, if you're Columbus, Orlando's on a run, you want to put an end to that, you want to discuss some things. If you also ice Michaela White, that's a bonus. Orlando counters by bringing in a different server in Scott. And there's Reagan Cooper just turning that one down the line, turning and burning.
Turning and burning is correct with a whole lot of power behind it. She's got a long approach, and she uses all of that approach and momentum moving forward to get up really high and swing over the block.
Murphy checking back onto the floor. Columbus with Cooper set to serve it in. Good pass there by an eye. Gillen, the beneficiary, puts it down in a hurry.
And that one was well earned. Jill Gillen's been waiting for that. We haven't called her name out as much as we usually do. That's just her 4th kill on the night, but that could not have come at a better time.
It's been a tough day here for Jill Gillen. You mentioned the 4 kills. Actually, now it's 5, hitting at 0 in this match. Courtney Lush didn't catch a touch, and Orlando edges out in front late, 23-22.
They practice finishing the games in the red zone. They've been practicing starting at 20. They'll play a game at practice where both sides start at 20 and it's first to 25, and that's kind of like the little game that they're playing right now.
Orlando goes to the dub sub. Carly Graham checking in. Teeler to the front row. And that's wide.
And it was close. You have to appreciate she's going for it. They know how terminal Columbus can be when they're in system, but just air it a little too far outside the line.
Raynell Jones back to serve for Columbus. The winner of this point will have set point. Graham with one hand gets that off the net. Back row Cooper off speed, and Teeler got to it. More off speed. Graham got to that one, and I think Columbus doesn't think she did. They want to take a look.
2 pancake attempts in a row. Ajani Teeler with a great up. I can't tell from up here if it hit the floor or not. It's a smart challenge. You might as well challenge. If you're correct, you get the challenge back.
Yeah, you mentioned that there, Madison. We're not down on the floor, so from here it's hard for us to tell with the naked eye if that was a pancake or not. And Bolt 6 is going to say, yeah, that's a floor touch. Point to Columbus. It's the right call. And Bolt 6 just continues to prove its worth with that look right there. And you got to tip your cap to Columbus. If you don't challenge something like that in the middle of the rally, you don't get the chance to at the end of the point. Say Orlando on the backside of that somehow terminates, well then all you can challenge is whether or not there was a block touch or something of that nature, and you lose the opportunity to challenge whether or not there was a floor touch or a pancake. So Columbus had 7 seconds to radio that challenge in, and you have to have the guts to do it mid-rally because the penalty for being wrong is you lose the point. Not going to be the case, though. Columbus will be at set point after a mid-rally challenge that they are absolutely correct on. You tip the cap to Ajani Teeler for her pancake, but the second one there not to be for Carly Graham. The official call will come in from a command center in Frisco, Texas. So if you watch college volleyball and you're familiar with the down referee, in this case Stephanie McClarty, going to a monitor somewhere and looking at all the camera angles, she will not be making the call. It will come in again from a command center in Frisco. So we're seeing all these looks. No official word, I guess, as of yet, but we feel pretty confident in saying that it should be Columbus's point, and that Angel Perez's challenge was right on the money.
Yep, from that angle that we saw, it really did look like her hand was just a little to the right of the ball, and the ball definitely came in contact with the floor.
And so, of course, again, did Orlando challenge a net touch as well?
I think we may have just experienced back-to-back challenges. Orlando now challenging for a net touch on Caitlin Horde.
And with set point in the balance, what a huge sequence of challenges. Michelle Prater makes the call. No net touch, but there was a floor touch, and Columbus wins the point and will serve for the set.
And that was a long break. What I'd like to see out of here is the Valkyries shake that off. It didn't go their way. That's okay. Have short-term memory. Solid first pass set, and you want to kill that ball right away. You don't want to give Columbus any chance to dig it up and score themselves.
Carly Graham looking for an explanation from Michelle Prater and receiving one. Amy Pauley's out there advocating. And is less than pleased. That look says it all.
Yep, absolutely. Tensions run high. We're late in this set. Columbus needs one to win. Orlando needs one to tie it.
And Orlando is going to call a timeout. We'll stay here and digest that sequence of reviews. And while Orlando shows off some of their multicolored merch, we'll take a second to say, Valkyries fans, be sure to get your 2024 inaugural season team gear while it lasts. Valkyries merch is available at all home games and through their website. Log on to orlandovalkyries.com for all your Valkyries merchandise needs. That's orlandovalkyries.com. What a great job. Might I also add that the Hype Squad does here at Edition Financial Arena. They get the crowd lively and active.
Absolutely. Look at them right now, right there. Also, they all have really good rhythm. It's like they've been trained as dancers too.
I cannot relate. That's Nuris Barrera, a radio DJ here in Orlando, 106.7. Worth mentioning to Madison, as I originally hail from Orlando, that is the radio station that I listen to on my way to school.
Very cool, full circle.
So cool to get to chat with her and enjoy what she does to build the energy in this arena. And this is a big moment. Jones to serve. Set point for Columbus. Gillen looking to erase it. Second effort. And she will do it.
Good for Gillen going back at it. That was a split-second decision. You've got to think on your feet. And right there, that ball blocked up high enough to where it was like a set. Jill Gillen, quick, fast, explosive, and took care of it.
Now she rotates to the back row. Winner of this one has set point. Cooper, back row still up. And Columbus once again will challenge midway through the rally that ball was down.
That set for Reagan Cooper, just a little bit too far outside her right shoulder, so she had to readjust and kind of lean. She attacked it leaning in the air. Of course, she would love for that to be recorded as a kill. She's so athletic. Here we see Georgia Murphy going for it. It looks like it hits the ground.
So Georgia Murphy doesn't quite get there. How about those challenges by Angel Perez? The guts it takes to challenge that with set point in the balance. His
Absolutely.
guts, their glory, they've got another one. Brown off the block. An eye. Off the block and out of play. Point Orlando.
And something for you all at home that you might not be paying attention to is the work that these attackers are putting in transition. To transition off the net and do their full approach, Adora and I put in a lot of work before she got that kill.
It'll be Paula Sarame to serve as we go beyond the 25 here in set number 3. 25 up, 2 set points erased by Orlando. Back row Cooper dug up by Sarame. Back set Teeler off speed. And there you have it. Ajani Teeler taking advantage of a little chaos on Columbus's side of the net and says, I'll just call my own number and put it to the floor.
Absolutely, jumping up, not even with an approach, but attacking it at a high point, dropping that pinky and driving it deep cross.
Timeout, Columbus. We'll stay right here as they discuss things. Whew, boy, we've had a flair for dramatic here this weekend. We had 2 sets between Grand Rapids and Orlando that went beyond 25, sets 3 and 4. In fact, set 3 went beyond 30 points.
Yep.
And now here we are once again, Madison.
If you love entertainment, I mean, this is as good as it gets. It's so intense. And what's also fun about this is all of these athletes have played in these high pressure moments and big stages before, so they're very comfortable when we get this deep into the game and when it's this tight. And so that means they're going for it every time. They're not playing shy or scared at all.
And I want to go back to something that the down referee for today, Devaney McClarty, told us before the match. She said, with pros of this caliber, the likelihood that you're going to go beyond 25 because of how well they play defense is high. And with technology like Bolt 6, you owe it to them to get every call right. And so far, that has been on the money as Orlando has a set point opportunity. That is long, and their first set point is erased.
Back and forth we go. Paula Sarame usually does a jump top spin right there, going with the flat float serve deep. Just putting a little bit too much heat behind it.
Murphy on serve receive, a 9. And Orlando have their second set point opportunity. They've erased 2 for Columbus, and this will be their second.
Adora Anai loves swinging to that 5-6 seam in between 2 defenders.
Teeler back to serve. Cooper with the eraser.
Cooper swinging into that seam, just a little gap in the block. She swung right through it. As a defender, if you see a seam like that, you kind of want to dive in and fill up that open gap.
Ford back to serve. And I put that one to the floor with emphasis.
And that was a one-on-one situation for Adora Anai. Michaela White held Raynell Jones on her. Jones thought Michaela White was going to get the set, so she held just a little bit too long, freeing up Adora Anai, who got the kill.
Tip the cap to Carly Graham, who's done a great job distributing the offense late for Orlando, their third set point, and that's a great serve and pass. Yeah, I'll tell you what, Anai did everything right with that serve, and that pass was perfect.
Megan Courtney Lush is so seasoned. She's so calm. Every single contact, she looks very confident. She betters the ball every time she touches it.
That'll send Drexel back to serve, 28 up. Treble for Joe Gillen, and a free ball to Columbus. Oh, wow, what a swing. Reagan Cooper.
Reagan Cooper is absolutely on fire, and she has been throughout the past 3 matches, and here she is in the 4th match, showing us why she's Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week. She gets up so high, drives it through any open seam. You can't allow those gaps in the block when Reagan Cooper is going up to hit.
Well, Orlando has erased 2 Columbus set points. Columbus has erased 3 Orlando set points since. This is the first set point for the Fury since the initial 2 to this point. And Madison, this particular set, so incredibly pivotal for these teams. 1 set apiece. Whoever wins this one's going to have a chance to slam the door shut in the very next set. Whoever loses this one after battling so valiantly beyond 25 in set 3 is going to have to go to a 5th to pull out a dub. And neither one of these teams is giving much.
Exactly, and you're right that this set is very, very important, because then you know you only need 1 more really solid set to put this match away. But this game, we knew it was going to be tightly contested. We knew it was going to be back and forth. Both teams have such star-studded rosters of national champions and All-Americans and Olympians and 22-year professionals. I mean, it is the best of the best out there on the floor.
Columbus trying to extend their winning streak to 4. And I don't care where you are, winning on the road is tough. And they have afforded themselves a 3rd opportunity to win set 3 and shift the match their direction. And that's a trickle ace to do it.
What a way to end a set. The trickle ace is so difficult to get your body underneath and pass. It's difficult to time it out as well, and right there just landed right in front of Joe Gillen.
And if you're an Orlando fan, you're saying not again. They lost in Atlanta on a trickle ace, and now they'll have to go to 5 at home.
So proud of you boys. Let's go celebrate now. Let's go.
Back here in Edition Financial Arena as we get set for set number 4 between Columbus and Orlando, a must-win set for the Valkyries. Columbus can win it here 3-1 after losing in 4 sets several weeks ago on February 16th. Reagan Cooper leading the way offensively for the Fury with 19 kills. She had 19 in that match as well as Adora Anai gets the scoring started in the 4th set for Orlando.
Yep, and Reagan Cooper had 9 kills in set 3 alone. The next closest attacker was Raynell Jones, who had 2 kills. So Reagan Cooper just putting the team on her back. If you're the Valkyries, you need to slow down Cooper.
After the initial kill, Anai goes back to work in the back row, serving it in, and that is out of her reach.
And it's difficult for the defense of the Valkyries to get any kind of read on Cooper because she has so much range.
Drexel back to serve. White wins the battle at the net.
And that was a good block by Raynell Jones, just wasn't able to get a pass on it and cover herself.
And that'll send White back to serve. That's out. Ninth service error of the match for Orlando to only one Adora Anai ace. Cooper back to serve. Graham going pin to pin. Out of the middle, Jones caught a piece of the Orlando block. Gillen off the block and down.
And that's when Gillen is at her best. When it's a fast set, she has to speed up into it. That allows her to use all of her vertical when attacking that ball. Also, in that rally, I must say, a lot of good block touches. The blocks are doing a really good job at slowing down the attacks and getting their hands on the ball.
How about Orlando starting in their dub-sub rotation with Graham and Teeler on the floor? Courtney Lush dug up by Anai. Gillen rejected, covered by Teeler. Gillen again, picked up by Leon. Cooper back row.
Reagan Cooper almost unstoppable right there, finding the open court anywhere she swings from. That's a quick back row set. She weaves it in between two players. She might have herself a season high kind of night.
Well, that's where she's at. 21 kills against Las Vegas, 21 more tonight. And she had 22. That's the season high against Omaha. Service error, though. Orlando leads 4-3. Early on, set 4. Must-win set for the Valks. Good pass there by Leon. Good coverage by Teeler. Anai stop. Murphy covers. Anai second effort.
Now that is some scrappy volleyball right there. Johnny Teeler doing everything she can to not let that ball hit the ground. Look at that diving, Superman kind of dive with one arm dig. Good cover by Georgia Murphy. This is scrappy play. And then Adora Anai transitioning off the net and getting the kill.
Kaz Brown getting an assist in her column today. Raynell Jones out of the middle. There's Anai. No call yet. Will there be a touch? No. Santos back to serve. Anai rolls it to the floor. Boy, you said something about Reagan Cooper putting the team on her back. Adora Anai has that same capability.
Exactly. She is such a leader for the Valkyries. Every single week, bringing her best and calculating a lot of points every single week.
Back set to the middle. Graham shoves it over. Heads up play by Carly Graham.
That is great situational awareness by Carly Graham. She could feel the defense not back at their base. They were scrambling a little bit. She took advantage.
Seven 4 Orlando. Just racing out of the gates here in set 4. Brown serves it in. Oh, what a swing. Samantha Drexel, the opposite, operating out of the left pin in that rotation. Good looking swing.
Great looking swing. She's got a heavy arm and a heavy hand. And also, great pass by Leon, keeping her team in system and allowing Santos to run all of her options.
Good pass there by Gillen. And Anai going to work. Back flip the antenna.
Yep, that's Anai just swinging through a little too much, turning it, overcorrecting it down the line just a little too much.
Just like that, Columbus is back within a point. Murphy on serve receive, lays out for that one. Anai dug up by Leon. Cooper dug up by Gillen. Gillen back row. Cooper again. Murphy covers. Near collision there as Anai rolls it over the block. Free ball for Orlando. Back set, Teeler. Courtney Lush with the dig. Cooper out of the reach of Murphy.
And who better to finish the rally than Reagan Cooper, who has been almost unstoppable so far in this set and all of the sets. Right there, driving it a little deeper than Georgia Murphy. Georgia Murphy was in the right spot. She just wasn't deep enough. And Reagan Cooper hit high over her head.
That'll equal Reagan Cooper's season high 22. She's hitting .330 all the while. Anai puts that one down in a hurry.
I mean, taking care of business, not messing around right there. Quick tempo set right to Anai. And that was such a good set by Carly Graham because Anai is in the air when she's setting it, and it was perfectly placed.
4th kill on 9 swings in this set alone for Adora Anai. That's a stuff block for Orlando. And it's Adora Anai.
We call her name a lot, and that's because she is so involved in every single play, whether that be defensively, she's got a great read on the ball, or offensively. You're right, she has the ability to put the team on her back, and she has done so this set.
2-point lead for Orlando. Carly Graham set to serve. Down the line she goes. Drexel, did she catch a touch? No.
And she felt the block on her. That block all the way out to the pin. So she tried to sneak it down the line in any area that she could, but just erred too far outside.
Leon with the pass. Cooper down the line, missed it. And I'll say this, I've got to give a lot of credit to Amy Pauley and her coaching staff. Gordon Mayforth, Molly Stark, Blake O'Mardian. They have seen something with this squad of 6 plus Georgia Murphy. They picked up a lot of momentum toward the end of set 3. They're sticking with them in set 4. They lead it by 4. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them.
It's the high performance moment of the week, brought to you by Ren Athletics.
14-12. Sydney Hilly. Maddox pulls the setter off. Right side swing. We're done. Match point. Las Vegas takes their inaugural match and starts at 1-0.
Gear up with the official Pro Collection apparel today. Available exclusively at renathletics.com and provolleyballshop.com.
Welcome back to Orlando here on YouTube as we continue to enjoy Pro Volleyball Federation play as we continue week 6. Orlando looking to go to 5-4. Columbus looking to go to 4-2. The Fury, if they win this set, they'll win the match in 4 sets. Orlando trying to force a 5th. Carly Graham, who's checked in on the dub sub up until late in set 3, started off as the primary setter in set 4, has done a great job of engineering the offense for Orlando. I know Columbus sides out of her serve right there, but just to put that into context, folks, Wilma Rivera got the start and did fine, had 20 assists in the first couple of sets, looked pretty good. Graham, from basically midway through set 3 to here, already has 16 and could have had 17 right there. Back set Teeler. Out of the middle, no touch by Orlando.
And that's also what happens when you get blocked a lot. It's easier for you to error because you're trying to do things that you don't normally do. And right there, Raynell Jones trying to swing high off the hands of the middle blocker, but just couldn't grab any fingertips.
Anai going to the back row. Courtney Lush with the pass. Back set, Drexel dug up by Georgia Murphy. Teeler lost the ball. Point to Columbus.
Good dig by Georgia Murphy. Deep down the line, she held her ground, popped it right up, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes you lose the ball, but it was a good dig nonetheless.
Orlando leads it by 3. Gillen off speed, sniffed out. Back row and 9, dug up by Leon. What a play. Cooper cross court. No touch by Orlando. She missed the sideline. Point to the Valkyries.
Leon with these incredible digs, keeping the play alive. She's got a really good read on the ball and read Adora Anai's shoulder quite nicely. And right there, Reagan Cooper with the miss, but she hasn't erred that much, so that's 100% excusable.
I love the look by Anai there after that point. She kind of had that little grin, that sly little grin. That could have been trouble there. That back corner was open for Cooper. She didn't find it, though.
100%. Cooper just kind of didn't get on top of the ball, wasn't able to get enough snap on it to get it in.
There's Anai playing up Cooper's serve. Kaz Brown with a swat out of the middle. Oh, what a play there by Anai. Good coverage. Teeler, the beneficiary.
Teeler loves that cross-court swing. You see her there reaching at its highest point, driving it through that open seam in the block. Raynell Jones not able to dive her arms and close off that block.
Service error by Teeler. Columbus is back within 3 as we approach the midway break here in set 4. Ivania Ortiz will come in as a serve sub. We've seen her do it a couple of times here tonight. She's got an ace, a couple of errors. Number 15 in black. Good pass there by Murphy. Back row, Anai, come on!
I mean, swinging so far away from that middle blocker. It was so much power. And look, on the court right now for the Valkyries, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options of offense. And Carly Graham doing a good job at spreading out that wealth.
Jill Gillen back to serve. And there's a kill off the block. Drexel doing a good job of tooling the Orlando block that was really starting to assert itself there in set 4.
Yeah, but it looked like right there, Adora Anai just a little late to jump, and that's why that happened.
That'll send Rai Santos back to serve. Oh, good pass. Oh, wow, look at Adora Anai go.
And that's why you run those tempo quick sets, because you want to beat the block. And right there, Adora Anai with her super fast arm swing beat the block of Caitlin Horde.
Kill number 6 in the 4th set now for Adora Anai.
And she makes it look casual all the while, too.
Graham with the tip. And I think there was an illegal touch by Columbus.
It truly is a game of momentum, and right now, Orlando has all of it.
By far the Valkyries' most convincing performance in any set to this point. Double block. Hovered over the net. Graham tried to put it down. Oh, wow, Michaela White did just that.
And with her left hand, too, Carly Graham did a great job at setting that block in the right location. And then Michaela White, you see her there, just dropping that left hand a little bit into the angle and blocking it straight down.
6-point lead for Orlando. Courtney Lush off speed. Anai, same story. Drexel, anything but. Orlando is ready. Gillen with a dig. Now in transition off the block.
dig to a kill. That was a great dig. She read that hit and kind of crashed into that open seam and then was up and ready and expectant and got the kill.
Timeout Columbus, and if you're Orlando, bottle this up and feed on it. They're nearing the red zone with a 7-point lead in a must-win set. We'll be back.
Perez told us it's about winning the small battles. I know this would be a big battle to win for him and the Fury tonight. Asia O'Neal, Columbus, first-time winner in their home debut. Welcome home, Columbus Fury.
We talk about competitive composure, and this kid has it. Reagan Cooper having a night tonight for the Fury.
If I can match that, Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line. Right into the box. Who else? Reagan Cooper. Back to Reagan Cooper. It's been right. And now set and match point coming up here for the Columbus Fury.
To this point in this set, Orlando is out hitting Columbus 320 to .040 or 040. And for the first time in the match, the Valkyries as a team are out hitting Columbus 220 to 210. It's been a long way back for the Valkyries, and there's Horde. We have not called her name in a little while. And if they can get her going in Columbus, that'll be a good sign for the Fury.
Exactly. She's their most efficient attacker, leading the team in hitting efficiency so far this season. So if they can stay in system, which they have been, I'd like to see them run through her more.
5th kill of the match now for Horde. Anai. There's just no stopping her. Facing a double block, somehow finds a way.
She sees the block so well, and when you think she's hit all the angles she can, she just cranks it even more angle. And great set by Carly Graham, who gets her feet to the ball every time.
Speaking of Graham, there she is serving it in. High reach out of the middle. Graham with a bump to an eye. Good coverage by Leon. Cooper just rolls it over the block. White out of the middle. Out of system ball, Cooper down the line. And Reagan Cooper has set a new season high 23.
It was a great swing by Cooper down the line and deep. She loves that area of the court, and she should. She knows it's effective. She scores there almost every time she hits to it.
Horde going back to serve. Orlando's lead stands at 6, 20 to 14. Graham back set, Teeler off the edge of the block. But point to Columbus. I think Amy Pauley challenged the call by Michelle Prater. I'm assuming here that for her to hit the challenge button, Orlando was called in the net on the attack.
Yep, that's what it is. They're challenging for a net touch.
And it appears Carly Graham is in the net. Orlando's going to want to hit the reset button here. A couple of points to Columbus. And the Fury haven't had to do much. I think Amy Pauley read my mind. Timeout Orlando. You stay with the action here. Madison, if you're Orlando and you are trying to hit that reset button, what do you need to do?
I think you need to just go back to what's working. It seems like they're just having a few communication errors, just been out of control a little bit. So I think just clean it up, relax, focus on each contact. All that matters is the contact that you're doing in that moment. So working on being clean, controlling what you can control, and like we said before, finishing in this red zone.
And we've mentioned it a few times too, Madison. There's a lot of volleyball to be played. Obviously, we're still in March, but as things stand in the Pro Volleyball Federation, you're talking about the teams seeded 3rd and 4th in the league standings. Columbus could build a little breathing room if they beat Orlando, and if you're Orlando, you move on to 5 and 4. You ascend up those rankings into that number 3 spot, if I'm not mistaken, and you have a chance at home next week against Omaha, no less, to get to 6 and 4 and really start to solidify yourself. And so, you know, there's, again, a lot of volleyball still to be played, but you can see some of the early shuffling and maneuvering, and this match matters, certainly.
100%. I couldn't have said it better myself. If you're Columbus, you're on a bit of a tear. You've got all the momentum in the world. You're 3 matches in with wins, which is very rare in this league. And if you're Orlando, you want to keep the momentum on your side because you're 1 win into a 2, and you want to continue to go into that next game with all that confidence.
On the backside of that match against Omaha at home, worth noting, Orlando's got a 5-match road streak, so that breathing room ever important for the Valkyries. Out of system ball, Teeler. There's Orlando's block. Columbus keeps it up. Cooper, that's an attack error. No touch by the Valkyries. And that's just what the doctor ordered for Orlando. Something to put an end to that little mini run by the Fury.
Exactly, and that's what you want out of a timeout. You want to get the point, you want to shut them down, shut off that momentum.
Adora Anai rotating now to the back row to serve. Back set. And the point to Columbus.
Good for Raynell Jones controlling that tip. The set kind of a little too far outside her shoulder. She had to really work to reach, but she's extremely athletic.
Ninth kill of the match for Raynell Jones. Off balance set to Teeler, and Columbus is trying to work their way back into this. This is as tight as this set has been in some time. The lead is down to 3. Drexel back to serve. Gillen rejected. Orlando keeps it up. Second effort, Gillen rolling it through the block. Cooper dropping the hammer. Anai gets it back, but it falls shy of the net.
And that's what it's going to take if you're Orlando to finish this out. You have to slow down Cooper right now. Reagan Cooper finding every single area of the court with a ton of confidence and efficiency.
The lead down to 2 for Orlando. And you can tell Columbus is feeling some kind of way as they try to work their way back into set 4. Frankly, they already have. They've worked their way back into it. Now they're trying to figure out if they can't flip this thing in the red zone, no less.
And I wouldn't put anything past them. They've got hot hands right now in Reagan Cooper. And Santos, the setter's finding her arm really well. Not to mention, Leon has been so impressive this entire match. She's made some fantastic reads and great digs and kept the play alive a lot for the Fury.
Bryce Santos, you mentioned how well she has distributed the ball and how good the connections that she has had with the likes of Reagan Cooper has been. She set a season high in assists so far here today. The previous season high was 47 against Omaha. As it stands right now, she's at 48.
And that's exactly what you want. You want to see each player getting better every single game, and that's a perfect example of her just building upon her skill and getting better and producing higher numbers each game.
3 assist dig double-doubles for Santos. She's 2 digs away from a 4th. Back underway here in Orlando. Better pass there. Gillen finds the back corner.
And they gave her a lot of line. She had about a foot or two of line, and she took advantage of it. That block not set all the way out to the pin enough.
And it looks like we have our first Orlando substitution. Columbus, meanwhile, only has one left. Carly Scott will check in to serve in place of Michaela White. Cooper off the block and down.
And I said it before in the broadcast, but a lot of the times the server is going to target the outside attacker who's pushed back to serve receive to kind of try and take them out of their offense. But right there, Reagan Cooper with perfect ball control and got the kill.
Cooper herself will rotate to the back row to serve. Brown puts it down. Carly Graham running the middle with Kaz Brown.
It's a quick set. It's a 3-set. She's trying to move the middle blocker. Raynell not getting there, not all the way to her shoulder, and not able to dive those arms down that line.
Taylor serves it in. Cooper says, I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to swing away. Oh, what a swing out there at the pin. Megan Courtney Lush.
Megan Courtney Lush coming up big in transition, putting in a lot of work to get off net and have her full approach. That's her 6th kill, so we haven't called her name out that much, but she's been so solid defensively, and then right there getting a kill in a big moment when it mattered.
Yeah, 19 digs for Megan Courtney Lush. Columbus tried to knock that ball down at the net. Now they're scrambling. Courtney Lush rolling it over the block. Back row and Nye. Got the kill. Off the touch. Boy, tight call there. But it goes Orlando's way. And they have an ever important couple of points in the balance. 24-21. The first of several opportunities for the Valkyries. And Jill Gillen serves it in. Out of system ball. Courtney Lush into the net, and on to 5 we go.
The Valkyries put on quite the performance, pushing it to 5. Really gritty and resilient performance by them.
Back here in Orlando, where I got some breaking news for you. One of these two teams is about to win their first 5-setter on the season. Columbus has never played a 5-setter. Orlando's played 2 against Atlanta and lost both.
Will Columbus continue their win streak and tack on, add it all up to 4, or will the Valkyries be the ones to shut them down? We're about to find out.
Orlando is sticking with that rotation that carried a lot of momentum. There's Georgia Murphy. What an up by Georgia. Tipped by Drexel. Murphy once again there for it. Anai caroms off a couple of blockers, and White puts it down.
Solid defense by both teams. Both liberos cleaning up each play, making each contact count. And then Michaela White doing what she's supposed to do and man that net.
First to 15, win by 2 for the match. Good pass. Cooper dug up by Gillen. Orlando is out of system though, and Teeler couldn't quite touch that ball.
Yep, I think that set just a little too far behind Teeler, who started her approach a little early and was already jumping when that set was behind her.
1-all. The pace already much higher than what folks who are only accustomed to watching college volleyball is, but it's even more so in a 5th set. There's White out of the middle. Cooper rejected by the Orlando block. This time rolling it. And the point goes to Orlando.
Yep, the ball outside the antenna there when she attacked it. That set too far outside the antenna, and then she couldn't redirect it back into the court.
One Orlando. Pass, back set, Drexel snipped out by Jill Gillen. What a start for the Valkyries.
That's why it's good when you're 5'7". It doesn't matter if you've got the vertical and the hang time, and Jill Gillen has both.
That's an ace.
What can she do? Adora Anai has come up so big for her team. And this is really important, coming out strong in the 5th set like this, because it's only the 15. It's a quicker game. You want to get as much of a lead and make as much of a statement as you can right off the bat.
And if you're Angel Perez, at what point do you consider calling timeout?
I would say one more if it goes the Valkyries' way.
Wow. Everything so far coming up Orlando. There's Graham with a quick twitch dig. Cooper. Murphy got a hand on it. How about Orlando's defense to start things off in the 5th set? Drexel off the hands. Anai got there. Point to Columbus. Is that going to be called a lift?
I think that they're calling Carly Graham under the net. But no matter, Orlando made such a statement right off the bat. Really solid defense. Very scrappy and gritty.
(4-2). Murphy diving on serve receive. Gillen off the block. Played up by Courtney Lush. Cooper off the block. That'll pull Graham out of this rotation here. Teeler stuffed.
And that's a way to chip away at a lead. Raynell Jones tracking that ball, moving dynamically across the net. And then also Reagan Cooper set that block in the perfect space along the net.
Drexel back to serve. Back row attack, and I dug up by Leon. Cooper dug up by Anai. The two heavy arm swing heavyweights who have carried their teams, trading body blows until Michaela White tips it at the net.
And you're right about both of those players carrying a huge load for their team. Adora Anai leading the team in kills, and then Reagan Cooper leading the team in kills by a lot.
Let me say this, something that I like if you're tuning in for Orlando. In the first 5 points, Carly Graham has run the middle with Michaela White twice.
Exactly, and that's when Orlando is at their best, when they're running through their middles and freeing up their pins.
Lush jammed up there a bit on serve receive, and there's a stop block, this time Kaz Brown.
Kaz Brown is so technically sound, so incredibly disciplined up there as the blocker. Good set by Santos, getting her feet to the ball, getting around it, but that wasn't going past Kaz Brown.
Better pass there. And Columbus was in the net. Rai Santos trying to set that ball off the net, got into it herself.
And you can feel the energy in the arena. It's all on Orlando's side right now.
Columbus feels it, and they want to slow it down. Timeout, Fury. Orlando leads 7-3, set 5.
We gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
We are in the heart of the inaugural season of the Pro Volleyball Federation as we get started here tonight. Hannah Maddox from the 10-foot line. Oh my, that was powerful.
Oh my goodness, over her back. Gillen again. Goodness, Jill Gillen is a spike specialist.
Asia O'Neal.
Big attack there and a block from Hannah Taft.
Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line.
And there's another stop block.
Orlando leads at 7-3 in this 1-15 win by 2 for the match. 5th set tiebreaker. It's been Michaela White who's really paced Orlando here in the 5th set. She's back to serve. Reagan Cooper has been the hot hand all match long for Columbus. That was her number 8. Gillen rejected by the block. Orlando keeps it up. Second effort, Gillen, this time off speed. Add a system ball for Cooper. Back row and
Right now, Orlando is looking like a well-oiled machine. Perfect pass by the middle, MK White. And then Carly Graham with the bit, a quick set to the back row of Dora Nye. That's her bread and butter.
Just like that, the Valkyries lead it by 5. Santos back set, Jones on the slide. Same thing for Columbus. If you can set the middles more often, Jones that time on the slide, that's good news for the Fury.
Exactly, because although Reagan Cooper does have 25 kills, she's been so incredible tonight. It does help to move around your offense. And the Valkyries have been slowing her down a little bit here in the 5th set with some nice digs.
I'll be honest with you, I think that might be the one thing that Reagan Cooper did not do tonight, and now she has. An ace serve for Reagan.
Just the cherry on top to an incredible performance.
There she targets Gillen there, and Gillen makes the most of that in transition. There's Brown, got her hands up, and it falls off the block and down. Another point to Columbus. They are now within 2.
And we're sorry if you're getting tired of hearing us say Reagan Cooper, but we just can't help ourselves right there. That dig by her was incredible. She saw the open seam, dove into it, crashed into it, and got that ball up, keeping the play alive for her team.
And that's what Angel Perez told us in terms of the ceiling. That's what was keeping her from finding that ceiling, was she just wasn't comfortable in the back row. She has come leaps and bounds in just 3 weeks' time. Gillen will ball. It's not going to come in. Point Columbus, and now the Fury are on a run.
And it's a game of momentum, and it shifts back and forth, and right now it's all Columbus. They're only down by 1 now.
Orlando has led by as many as 5 in this 5th set. And credit to Columbus for working their way back.
I need you to get up out your seat right now. I need
Next up for Orlando, after this one, they will take on Omaha at home before, as I mentioned previously, they will play their next 5 matches on the road. They'll go to San Diego for their first matchup against the Mojo. Then they'll go to Omaha and then make another trip to Atlanta. And then they will visit the Fury in Columbus on March 29th, all part of that 5-match road run. Again, after they take on Omaha here at AdFi Arena next week. As for the Fury, on the backside of this, they go to Grand Rapids, and then they get their own little home stretch where they can build some more momentum. They get Vegas, Grand Rapids, and the Atlanta Vibe before they make a return trip to Atlanta on March 27th. So that's what's immediately ahead for each of these teams. Well, I shouldn't say immediately ahead. What's immediately ahead for each of these teams is whatever the next half of this set will bring.
Exactly. It's a short game now. You really can't afford to make many errors. Just try and play clean volleyball. Both of these teams performing at a very high level. This is going to be a fun last few points.
Seriously strong service run for Reagan Cooper when it matters the most. Teeler stuffed. Columbus is feeling itself here in the 5th.
Great block setup by Megan Courtney Lush, who also timed that out well and then pointed her palms and her hands into the court.
Just the second block for Megan Courtney Lush, and what a time for it. Gillen in transition with the kill.
Targeting Joe Gillen on serve receive, solid pass by her. She's a seasoned 6 rotation player who helped lead Arkansas to the Elite 8 this past season. She looks very comfortable passing and then transitioning into that approach to swing.
Should be kill number 10 for Jill Gill. That'll be a double-double for her to go along with 14 digs. Wilma Rivera now checking in to serve. Raynell Jones off the edge of the block and down.
Yep, on that one, it just looked like Kaz Brown may have been a little late, may not have been pressing over at the right time. Raynell Jones with her quick arm swing took advantage of it.
Nine all 5th set. Rivera to the pin, to Gillen. And a free ball to Orlando. This time to the middle and Kaz Brown.
The angle of that swing was so sharp, so straight down. And that's what you do on a free ball. You take care of it. Perfect pass, in system set to the middle. Kaz Brown so efficient with so many angles.
And the equivalent of what would be the red zone here in set 5. Orlando leads it 10-9. Again, 1st to 15, win by 2 for the match in this decisive 5th set. And that's a service error to knock things up 10 up. Santos back to serve. Here's a nine dug up by Leon. They were teammates in Puerto Rico. Overpass. And Shaina Joseph gets it over. Courtney Lush won't get the call. Point Valkyries. What an effort by Shaina Joseph, who, for what it's worth, folks, was in a hoodie a few points ago. I don't think they anticipated her coming back on the floor.
Or maybe she wanted to stay warm. It could have been either or, but yeah, you're right. She came back in seamlessly. Made a good play for her team.
Here's Carly Scott subbing in. Leon, nice pass, forward. Knocked back by Joseph. Back row, Cooper got the kill off the touch, and we are tied again.
And there were 3 players blocking her, all 3 in the air at the same time, pressing, and Reagan Cooper still found the floor.
Reagan Cooper now with kill number 26. Courtney Lush floats it in short. A nice stop.
That was all Caitlin Hord's left hand, diving that hand into the angle, sealing off that net, sealing off that angle, and pointing her palm straight to the floor.
And for the first time in forever, Columbus leads in the 5th. White puts it down and says not anymore.
White has been so incredibly efficient so far tonight. It almost seems like every time they set her, she's either getting the defense in trouble or she's getting a kill.
That'll be her 3rd kill in 4 swings in this set.
Efficiency at its finest, and that's what you want out of your middle. They are your most efficient attackers.
12 all. As Carly Graham subs in. Out of the middle. And another kill for Columbus. Each of these teams starting to go back to the middle here. Midway late now in set 5.
And that's also a testament to how in system they always are. The first ball contact has been very clean on both sides of the net.
And here comes Gabby Blossom. She's come in a few times as a serve sub. Big moment here. An eye. Dug up by Courtney Lush. Cooper off the block and out of play. And Columbus has arrived at match point.
Santos making the smartest decisions there. Going to Reagan Cooper, who, granted, has been the hot hands, not just at the beginning of the match, not just in the middle, but here at the end, just steadily tacking on kill after kill after kill.
So Orlando needs a side out, then they need another one to knot it up at 14. If they're going to win it, we're going beyond 15 in the 5th. Columbus has a couple of opportunities to stake their claim and keep that momentum rolling.
Yep, and if you're Columbus, you want a nice aggressive serve. You get it in, but you make it aggressive. You make the serve-receive line move. And then you just think one solid defensive play. You need one up, one set, and one kill. And you've got the match.
This is a Columbus team that played 1 match in the first 3 weeks of PVF play. And they treated it, by their head coach Angel Perez's own admission, like a scrimmage, a litmus test, if you will, an opportunity to line up against another team and see with where you're at currently, how it stacks up, and then take that information on board and use it to build for the remaining 23 games that you've got 3 weeks from now. And they look like a totally different team here tonight.
I love it, and you can definitely tell that the coach and the players respect the process.
And I jammed up on serve receive. Now in transition off the block. A chance for Cooper. Off the block, Murphy covers. An eye. Dug up by Blossom. Cooper again. And that should do it if it's in. No.
Man, that was a close call. Let's check out the replay. Only a couple inches out. Cooper swinging for that deep corner, that back line, but the Orlando Valkyries still in it.
We're situated behind that back line, so it looked real tight to us as Adora Anai goes to serve. No margin for error for Orlando. Cooper again. White got a hand up. And it's out. Orlando scratches off 2 match points, and we're tied at 14.
And that's how quickly this game changes. 2 errors, and you're back in it.
And now it's Columbus hitting the reset button.
Good for Adora Anai right there, going for that jump top spin still very aggressively, even with the entire match on the line. That shows a lot of experience on her part to still go up and do a full swing on that serve.
And again, I think you have to tip the cap to Amy Pauley. She was asked last week after a match where Orlando had a number of service errors, hey, what are you going to do to clean this up? What do you want to do? So on and so forth by the media at the press conference. And she said, look, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to do what we do. We're going to try to refine some things maybe, but I am not going to tell my team to not be aggressive on their serve. And tonight, the numbers for Orlando haven't looked pretty. But to your point, Anai's trust her stuff, and it paid off there, down 2 match points.
Exactly, and you gotta love it too. The coach obviously trusts her players. She trusts them to go for it, and she doesn't want to reel them in at all. She wants them to be themselves, and if you keep repping it out, the consistency will come.
By the way, 22 kills, 19 digs for Adora Anai, who serves it in momentarily. Now, finally, once more. Courtney Lush with the pass. Cooper off the block and out of play, and Columbus has match point number 3.
That was Cooper's 29th kill. If she gets one more, that's 30 on the match. Incredible numbers for Reagan Cooper.
And for the first time this season, Jenna Rosenthal heads to the floor for the Fury. Graham had to run beyond that 10-foot line, and Gillen makes the most of it after she herself got jammed up on serve receive.
Great swing by Jill Gillen. We talk about making those big swings in those big pressure, big stage moments, and Jill Gillen right there, a ton of bravery on that swing, going high off of the hands.
And Paula Sarame, who came up so clutch, so late for Orlando against Grand Rapids, steps in to serve. Cooper off speed. What a decision by Reagan Cooper.
And that right there was her 30th kill, and you have to respect, it came from her being crafty, from her seeing the court, having really good court vision, and putting the ball where it needed to be placed.
Match point number 4 coming up, and appropriately, it's Cooper back to serve. Good pass. And Anai has to send the 3-ball over. Misconnection for Orlando. Back row, Cooper. Gillen retreats. Back row, Anai. Still up. Brown tries to put it down. Courtney Lush with a big swing. Gillen tipped, rejected. Murphy got a hand on it. 3-ball to Columbus. Courtney Lush. Did she get it? Yes! Columbus wins it in 5 here at Adfi Arena. And Orlando wants to challenge.
Look at that area of the court that the ball hit, tagging that end line. Megan Courtney Lush taking a big swing through the seam. I'm not exactly sure from up here from our vantage point what they're challenging, but we're gonna find out.
You can't challenge in a route. And Columbus has been awarded the point and the match. I'm not sure either what the basis of the challenge was, but what a gritty performance in the 5th set by the Fury, down 5 points, having several match points of their own erased, they find a way.
That is the definition of grit. To not even think about how much you're down by, to just think, all I want to do is win. Just gonna chip away, chip away, chip away. And that's what they did. They didn't let the ball hit the ground on defense. They put the ball away efficiently on offense. Standout performance by every single person on that court today.
What a match, and what a weekend we have had here in Orlando. Wow. Columbus wins it 17-15. We'll put a wrap on this one after these messages.
We gonna take it, 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 gonna take it,
It's the high performance moment of the week, brought to you by Ren Athletics.
14-12. Sydney Hilly. Maddox pulls the setter off. Right side swing. We're done. Match point. Las Vegas takes their inaugural match and starts at 1-0.
Gear up with the official Pro Collection apparel today. Available exclusively at realprovb.com and provolleyballshop.com.
We talk about competitive composure, and this kid has it. Reagan Cooper having a night tonight for the Fury.
If I can match that, Reagan Cooper slams it home on the back line. Right into the block. Who else? Reagan Cooper. Back to Reagan Cooper. It's been right. And now second match point coming up here for the Columbus Fury.
Our day has dawned.
A new horizon is upon us.
Inspired by the many who came before us, together on a path to achieve something extraordinary.
Do you hear the groundswell? We are at the forefront of a revolution. Empowered, inspired, together. We didn't get here alone.
This is our responsibility. We are creating a new major league on the greatest stage volleyball has ever seen. Pro Volleyball Federation is real pro volleyball.
Now is our time.
Communities will come together.
History will be made.
We are one.
Today, we are inspired.
Today, the light shines on us.
Today marks the beginning of the next chapter.
And we're writing it together.
Rally with us.
Back here in Addition Financial Arena, I think it's worth mentioning that the Pro Volleyball Federation has done a tremendous job of being fan-friendly. And for Orlando, they've got a lot of home fans that were in the house here, as they have had for every one of their home matches. And so even after a nail-biter and a heartbreaker for the homestanding Valkyries, they're going to sign some autographs. And Adora Anais, it's going to be worth a pretty penny if she keeps playing like that.
Absolutely, and that also is just a testament to who these players are as people. But on the court, Adora Anais is an absolute firecracker. On the night, 22 kills, 20 digs, a casual double-double with really high numbers, and 2 aces to tack on to that. We see her hit sharp angle. We see her tip to the open court. She's so crafty. We see her hit from every single area of the court. She's so dynamic. Absolute dynamite from Adora Anais tonight.
And speaking of dynamite, particularly at the pin, Columbus had a very worthy counterpart in Reagan Cooper.
The reigning Pro Volleyball Federation Player of the Week. I mean, just living up to her name like no other. 29 kills, 16 digs, 1 ace. She put the team on her back. She was an absolute leader, and she's only a rookie. She's very young, but she still leads with such experience and expertise. She's so confident every time she goes up to swing. She loved that down-the-line swing here tonight. She was really successful in that area of the court.
And so in their 2 matchups here at Adfi Arena, Orlando wins the first 3-1. And this time Columbus gets the better of the Valkyries, winning it in 5 sets beyond 15 points, 17-15. For Madison Fitzpatrick and our entire crew, Sean Davison saying so long. We'll see you next weekend when the Valks take on Omaha.